whenever they checked me again, I was already 10 centimeters dilated. She was like, oh, she was like, the baby's coming. She's like, I can see his head. And by this point, like, I had been in labor for so long that I almost didn't believe her. I was like, okay, yeah. Like, we'll see. We'll see if, he's if we're really having this baby right now. We are back, and now we are back as mom and dad.
Woohoo!
How are you feeling now that you're officially dad? I mean, you were while I was pregnant, but now he's here.
Um, like a dad, I guess. I
Is
don't
it
know.
everything you expected it to be?
Um, I don't know if I had an expectation,
Mm.
except just like it was gonna be a change, but it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely even more of a change than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Like since he's still so little, I can't
Yeah.
like do all the things with him yet, and
Mm-hmm.
all he does is want his mom right now.
Aw.
But it's cool when he's awake and he's having fun and trying to talk to me and playing with me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, he's already trying to talk. So we're currently, tomorrow will officially be 7 weeks postpartum. So we've been learning, adjusting as
yeah,
first time parents. There's
well,
still a lot to be learned. And then if we need to take a break, we will. But he's taking a nap right now.
yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about our birth story. We asked you guys on Instagram to ask us any questions. So I don't know, do you want to tell the story and then answer the questions, or just answer the questions and tell the story as we go?
I think answer the questions. Use the story to answer the questions as we go.
Okay. So the first question was, what was your first sign you were in labor? So I'll start with, we went to the 39-week appointment, and they were talking about having to induce me if he didn't come by his due date. And I didn't want to do that, and they did say, the only reason we would want to do that would be because, what if he poops in there, and that's dangerous, and we don't want that to happen. And so I was like, okay. And I don't remember if I think I did tell you. No, I told Lily. No, I did tell you too. That a few weeks before we went to that appointment, like the word meconium just came to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think that means when they poop inside of you, like while they're still in the belly. And I
Mm-hmm.
looked it up, and it was. And I just prayed over it. And I feel like it helped me not be against induction 100%, because I was like, maybe that's God trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
So I prayed about it, and then um, even though I'm saying that I wasn't completely against it, I was like, let me see if I can do something for me to not get to the point where they have to induce me. Because I had seen a TikTok, and the doctor had said Pitocin is like the synthetic form of oxytocin.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like, so what it does is like makes you go into labor, but it only causes pain. And oxytocin, like, you'll feel the pain of the contractions, but you'll also feel like that happy feeling, that emotion of like, my baby's coming. So what I did was I decided to go get acupuncture. So Monday was my due date, and he still wasn't here. So the problem was that I wasn't really dilated. I was 1 centimeter dilated. So we went to go get acupuncture. Um, and Dr. Sebastian told me to also drink cinnamon tea when I got home. So I got home, drank my cinnamon tea, and then my brother came over. Well, before he got here, I started cramping a little bit, like very light cramps. It didn't hurt, less than period cramps. He got here, we were talking, got distracted. He brought me some food, and then after he left, I was like, I'm gonna take a nap. I woke up, I was still feeling the cramps. So then I was like, you know what? This might be it. Even though it doesn't hurt, and my water hasn't broken, I hadn't felt cramps the whole pregnancy. So I was like, I feel like this might. I think the acupuncture and cinnamon tea worked. So I went upstairs, took a shower, came out, and I was bleeding. It was like a dry blood. So I was like, okay, this isn't normal. I haven't read about this, or none of the TikToks that I watched has said anything about bleeding. I mean, the bloody show, yes, like the mucus plug, but it was just dry blood. So I was like, so I called Juan, and Juan's at work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I told him, I was like, I think this is it. And then while he was on his way, I called the night nurse, told her what was going on. And she's like, when's your due date? I was like, oh, yesterday. So she's like, all right. She's like, well, she's like, come in into the ER and we'll get you checked out. So those were, I guess, my first sign that I was in labor. So a question for Juan: what was your first reaction when Brianda notified you she was in labor?
Well, I was at work. It was about midnight when you let me know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got the message at midnight. You're like, hey, I think this might be it. And I just grabbed my charger, grabbed my backpack, and told the guys, I'm leaving. I think he might be on the way.
Mm-hmm.
And
What were you feeling?
excited. I mean, I had been waiting. I had just been waiting for that text, for the phone call. Every single night when I was going to work, I was just waiting and waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I was here, I would, when I was sleeping, I'd be like, when I wake up, I'm like, did she not wake me up? And she's just trying to hold off? Or, because I knew you were going to, I felt like you were going to try to wait some, because, you can only be there for so long before they really start trying to induce you or C-section and all that. And we wanted as natural as possible. So I was like, she might be trying to hold off and not tell me right away.
Yeah, so the plan was to wait it out at home for as long as possible. But because of the blood, I was like, let me just make sure this is okay and that everything's still normal. So that's why we ended up going before my water broke.
Yeah.
And then the next question is also for you. It says, how fast did you drive on the way to the hospital?
On the way to the hospital, you were doing good. Everything seemed good about you, your energy, your headspace, everything seemed good. I think I just did like 80, which is speed limit, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we even stopped at Whataburger because I was bleeding, but I wasn't in pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, the only thing was I just want to make sure that this is normal and that
that
baby
everything
and
was
I are
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, okay. I was like, I've heard that you should eat before, you go because they might not let you eat. Mm-hmm. So on the only thing that was open was Whataburger. So we stopped, we got food, we ate. And then I think we got to the hospital like around 2, to the emergency room.
Yeah.
They gave us a room, and then they had us in there just waiting. The nurse comes in, and she was like, I would do a test on you to see if your water broke. She was like, but because you're bleeding, it's gonna come back as if it did break.
Yeah.
So we were just waiting, right?
Yeah, they put us in a small. The emergency room is pretty small. It was pretty quiet in there. Like you said, she was like, it's gonna be an automatic positive because of the blood. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were just waiting. I don't think they gave me a pillow or a sheet, nothing. And they had you on a little small bed.
Yeah, well, I had seen on a podcast this book, and I talked about it in another podcast. It's called Supernatural Birth, and you were reading that to me. Mm-hmm. So it was nothing but like positive testimonies of birth. So I just wanted to stay in that headspace. So we got there at 2. At 4, my water breaks.
4:05.
4:05. Oh yeah. And people asked me how did that feel. It just felt like I was peeing and I couldn't stop it. Like I couldn't control it. Mm. And I'm really glad it happened in the hospital because we just bought our bed. And so I'm glad it happened on their bed and not ours.
Yeah, for sure.
So we were there for a while because they said, so after my water broke, they were like, all right, we're not going to let you go back home. Mm-hmm. But they didn't have a room available either. So we were just there for a while. They were like, you can go to the cafeteria, get something to eat. So we went and got breakfast.
Dang, I forgot we got breakfast. So I'd been up for a while at that point. Probably like 20 hours, maybe more. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember going to get breakfast. I remember reading. I thought you fell asleep, and reading gets me super sleepy. Like, I'm like, in the middle of reading, just falling asleep.
We were in there for so long that he actually finished reading the whole book to me.
Then we started it over, huh? Because I read it again.
Or did we not finish?
I don't think we finished in the emergency room. I finished when we were in the labor room.
Okay.
But I think I just got really tired, and I thought you were asleep because you seemed really relaxed. So I just put the book down and like wedged myself and went to sleep. I didn't remember breakfast. I barely remember them saying, hey, we got a room.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I was just like in a really good headspace. I was like, oh, I'm so excited. And it'll be my baby. I've been praying about this. I had been praying to God to help me keep that, stay in that good headspace and just trust Him. I'm like, I know He's taking care of us, and everything that happens now is just trusting Him.
Yeah.
The next question is, how was your experience overall? Was labor and delivery what you expected it to be? Overall, their experience was really good, I would say. It did not go as I expected it. And I've heard people say, you can have your birth plan, but at the end of the day, just go with the flow and your birth plan might go out the window. And that's basically what happened with us. So I had been reading this book and so many positive stories. Some women, like, didn't feel any pain when they had the contractions, and they would just show up to the hospital right before they had the baby, and they would just get to the hospital push and the baby was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hoping that would be my experience. And thank God the contractions didn't hurt, but I wasn't dilating. So they took us to the delivery room as soon as we got there. So my plan was I didn't want any Pitocin, I didn't want any epidural. But at the same time, I was like, if it's absolutely necessary, I'm not going to be stubborn and be like, no, no, no. I'm going to go with the flow. But if I can avoid it, I'll avoid it. So we get there, and the nurse, super nice.
That she was awesome.
Yeah, we really liked her. She said that she never said I have to. She was very, whatever you want to do, we're here for you, but this is a good thing to do, or this is what we recommend, or this is what the doctor is saying.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, at the end of the day, it's up to you.
Yeah.
So she was like encouraging Pitocin, and I was like, no, I really don't want to. And they hooked me up to see if I was having contractions, and they could see on the machine that I was, but they were asking me, does it hurt? And I was like, no, it doesn't hurt. So they were like, okay, well then if we put you on Pitocin, it'll make the contractions stronger, and you'll go into labor. So this is Tuesday morning, and I was like, like thinking about it, and she was like, let's do this. I'll put you on a very low dose on 2, and then, hopefully that'll kickstart everything, and then your body will just do the rest. But if not, then we'll just have to keep upping up the dosage. And so I was like, okay, let's do that. Unfortunately, my body was not. It was just hanging out.
Yeah.
I guess. And I was 1 centimeter dilated. At noon, doctor came in, checked. I was 3 centimeters dilated. And she was just checking in and being like, does it hurt yet? Does it hurt yet? And I'm like, no, it doesn't hurt. She was like, we need to up the Pitocin. And I was like, I don't want to up the Pitocin.
I don't want it to hurt.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want it to hurt. And she would ask me, like, does it hurt? And I'll be all happy. I'm like, no, it doesn't hurt. And she'll kind of be like, she's like, we want it to hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't want it to hurt. You want it to hurt.
Yeah.
So the way that I've told people, like, the way it felt is like when you contract a muscle, you feel it, but it doesn't hurt. But,
So when you flex a muscle.
Oh.
People who...
Okay, yeah, when you flex.
It's the same thing, but
okay.
Some people are like, oh, I don't know.
So when you flex a muscle, you feel it, but it doesn't hurt. So that's how it felt. And I was like that all night. Nighttime came. The nurses had to do their night shift, or their changed shift. What is it called?
Changeover.
Yeah, that thing. And by the way, my respect to nurses. Like, I already respected nurses, but after this experience, I'm like, ooh, another level of respect for everything they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so before she left, she was like, you're not going to be pregnant tomorrow, she was like, basically like...
She's like, I won't... She said, she's like, I'm a little sad that I won't get to be here for it, but I'm happy for you because when I get here tomorrow, you won't be pregnant anymore. He'll be here.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. And then our mom showed up.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit. So by nighttime, I was already getting tired. So, you flex a muscle, it doesn't hurt, but after you've been flexing for over 24 hours, you get tired. So I was starting to feel tired, and I took a nap. I was like, I'm going to try to go to sleep. And the contractions were there. I just wasn't dilated because the nurse said at some point at night she had to come in and lower the Pitocin because the contractions were that frequent and intense.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't hurt me. So I'm going to say that was 100% God, and I'm so thankful. So thankful. But then in the morning when I woke up, got up, used the restroom, and I was tired.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, I wanted to do this naturally. I didn't want to do Pitocin. I didn't want to do epidural. But I'm trusting you. and then I remember some of my cousin and your cousin had both told me, you don't get a gold star for not doing epidural, or don't feel less than if you have to do that. Like it's okay, basically, because then
Mm-hmm.
people will be like, no, you shouldn't do it, and this and that. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask what the risks and the benefits are. So I called the nurse and I was like, hey, what are the risks and benefits of getting the epidural? And she was kind of like, what? Like, okay, we're gonna have this conversation. I guess you changed your mind. And she was like, you have two options. You can either do pain medicine or epidural. And I was like, well, which one do you recommend? And she was like, honestly, the epidural might help you go into labor, or might help you dilate. So I was like, okay, let's do that. So got it. So I got the epidural, and as soon as almost immediately, I guess my body relaxed. Did I throw up first, or did she tell me that he was coming?
No, you threw up way before.
Oh, okay. So I got it, and then I started throwing up. I threw up twice, three times.
Yeah, but it wasn't right away. You got the epidural. I think I got it at 5 a.m.
Okay.
And you threw up at 7 a.m.
Uh,
Yeah, because they do changeover at 7, and you threw up as soon as Christine was coming back.
oh, okay. Yeah. So I was throwing up. I couldn't feel the lower part of my body. So Juan and the nurse had to pick me up and change the sheets.
You know, we had to change everything, but it's not just like you were just throwing up. It's you. Because when I hear epidural, I'm like, oh, it just relaxes down there so they can do it. Not that you can't use your legs, you can't do anything. Like you have to have help to move. You don't realize how much you use your legs, I guess, when you're like up on the bed or anything like that. So when you got that, then it became like helping you a lot more. And then when you threw up, all you could do was this.
Mm.
You weren't turning over.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to like run and grab the throw up bags and have you throw up in there. And then I called the nurse, and the nurse was like, "It's okay. Like this happens." She's like, "All right, this is what we're gonna do. Like we're gonna turn her. We're gonna change her. We're gonna change the sheets and everything." And I was like, "All right, well, let's do it. Like let's go."
Yeah.
And so we did all that. And yeah, I mean, shout out to the nurses because she was an older lady. I don't know how old she was, but she was a strong older lady because she was like, "You got to pull it," and I pulled it, and she's like, "You're stronger than that. Look, grab it." Like turned you over by pulling the sheet. I was like, "All right, lady." But yeah, she was awesome. But yeah, you did the epidural at 5. They turn your pitocin down like at 3 a.m. I remember them waking me up when they came, because they came in and I woke up, and because we slept a little bit. But you didn't sleep much.
No.
From what I remember is you didn't really sleep much. I think I got like 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep. And then they woke me up when they came in. Oh, because I moved the couch right next to your machine. The couch is like all the way by the wall, and I was like, "That's too far." I was like, "If she needs me, I'm gonna be over here. She can't like tell me anything." So I shoved the couch and slid it all the way over to right by your machine. And that's when she came in and turned it down. She's like, because they can monitor you even from their computers, and she was like, the contractions are coming on too strong. We're gonna turn your pitocin down. And then that's when you asked for the epidural at 5, threw up at 7, and then I don't know if you want to keep going from there.
Well, I'm just going what I remember, so you fill in the gaps.
Oh. Well, I mean, you left out the whole part like where you did like try to active labor, where they talk about like being active and trying to do different positions. The peanut. So there's like a big inflatable peanut ball. There's the medicine ball. You were doing that. You were changing positions on the bed. All different kinds of things, because that's why they were like, you should be in pain. And when the night nurse came, that's when you had turned around like to face the bed, like with it all the way up. And she was like, "Oh, like okay, like we're in this, like we're trying, like we're doing different things." So you were trying all different kinds of things. It wasn't like you were just laying there like, "Oh, it's not coming, it's not coming." You were doing different things.
Yeah, there was like a YouTube video that I was watching and trying to.
Yeah, but I mean, even the classes, the lady said, she's like, "You're in labor. You're pushing."
Yeah.
So we had gospel music going the whole time,
That's right.
and like it was very like, everything was super positive vibes, super calm, and they would come in and be like, oh, you're gonna know when those are contractions. Those aren't contractions. You're gonna know it's gonna hurt. And the whole time you're like, no pain. And we just kept praying and saying over it that you would have a pain-free delivery, pain-free delivery. And the whole way you went pain-free. Like, they were just like, no, you're gonna know. And at 7 centimeters dilated, no pain. And then even all the way till he came, no pain.
Yeah. And that's another reason I didn't want to get the epidural, because they were trying to like encourage me to get it, but I was like, the epidural is supposed to be for pain, and I'm not in pain. So that's another reason why I didn't want to get it, because I was like, for what?
Yeah.
But then when I got tired, I was like, you know what? Let me just try it, because at this point, I haven't slept. I've been contracting for over 24 hours. I was like, just give it to me. And so what it did was it made me feel bad. But I know some people get the shivers. Thankfully, I didn't get the shivers. Yeah. It was just throwing up. And then, so I guess it relaxed my body, because whenever they checked me again, I was already 10 centimeters dilated. She was like, the baby's coming. She's like, I can see his head. And by this point, like, I'd been in labor for so long that I almost didn't believe her. I was like, okay, yeah. Like, we'll see. We'll see if we're really having this baby right now. So that was my reaction to that. And then I was going to say... Oh, so I guess he was coming out sideways, right? Or his head was turned... I want to say his head was turned to the left. Because on my right side, what's it called? This, like the pelvis?
Your pelvic bone?
Pelvic bone. It started hurting, and I already had the epidural. So I told the nurse, I was like, it hurts. I was like, it hurts so bad right there. And she was like, what the heck? Like, she was like I haven't been in pain the whole time, and as soon as I get the epidural, I'm in pain. But it was because his head, I guess since the water had broken, it had been in there for so long, he started getting like the cone-shaped head. And so his head was pushing against, I guess, my bones, is how you would say it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was a point when they came in, they swapped you from, so when you were being active, they had his heart rate monitor and your contraction monitor strapped to you on via Bluetooth, because they took you off the machine. And then they're like, hey, we're going to swap you to this other one that now that you have the epidural, you're going to be, since you're bedridden, we're going to take the Bluetooth one off, we're going to hook you up to the machine that's wired in, and it's going to actually tell us, because they say they can't see how strong the contractions are, they could just see how close they were with the other one, and then when they put the other one in, that's when they were going to be able to see how strong they were.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, they were trying to, it has to go all the way inside, and it's supposed to go in, I guess, against the uterine wall, and that's when it sees how much pressure it's putting on there. I guess that's how it works. But they were like having trouble putting in, it's like a little wire. And I just remember they were kind of like, well, it doesn't seem like they were having trouble like making sure it was in there. They're like, does your baby have hair? Like, we don't know.
Yeah, because she was like, I feel something, but I don't know what it is. She was like, I don't know if it's still the bag that hasn't...
Yeah, the sac.
Like, the sac that has fully ruptured. And then they were like, unless that's the head. They're like, does your baby have hair?
Yeah, we're like...
Because they're like... And then they made the comment about us being Hispanic. Like, they expected to feel like a hairy head.
Yeah, and then they were like, well, we mean like on your ultrasound, sometimes you can see hair. And I'm like... We could barely ever see his face or anything on his ultrasounds because he was always hiding.
Like, I haven't met him. I don't know if he's here or not.
Yeah. So they finally got it. They called another nurse in there to try to help her. And then she finally got it.
So they were like scraping, trying to break the water. But I think they were poking his head. Because he came out with scratches on his little head.
Yeah.
Poor baby. Thankfully, he's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, when you were talking about that, you were already 10 centimeters, so it was back to the day nurse, and she came in, and she's like, oh, you're still here.
I was like, I'm still pregnant.
Yeah, she's the one who helped change you and all that, and then she came in pretty close to 10 a.m., and she was like, all right, let me just see how far along you are, and then she's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's coming, he's here now. And to me, here now, I expect movie scene, doctors come in, like 2 or 3 doctors, nurses, everybody's around, and I'm just up here at the head, by your head, like, good job, love, good job, you could do it. That's what I was expecting, but this nurse was like, no, come on, you get on this side, I'm gonna get on this side, And I was like, whoa, 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 we got a plan, and the plan is for me to stay up here and not be involved. We paid y'all, the hospital, to deliver the baby. I'm not on the payroll. And she's like, no, he's coming, and she's like getting everything ready by herself, and I'm like, are you delivering the baby too? Like, I know you helped out a lot, but she was just so calm, and
she was awesome.
yeah, you could tell she'd done that a million times. Like, she just set everything up, and yeah, it didn't go exactly as planned, but everything was pretty good.
Yeah, and yeah, so she was holding. So then the doctor finally got there. So the nurse is holding my leg on this side, and Juan's holding my leg on the right side. And,
I didn't know if you wanted me to go to that part yet.
Okay. We'll just finish the story, and then we'll keep answering questions. From what I remember. So they're both lifting up my legs because I can't do that on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just telling me to push. And they're like, we're going to tell you to push once we see a contraction on the monitor.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, push, push, push. And at that moment, like, I had seen, like, a few TikToks, and I've heard people, like, tell me their stories. They're like, whenever you go to deliver, don't push with your butthole. Push with your vagina hole. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and call them that. But when you have the epidural, you can't feel anything down there. So I didn't know what I was pushing with. So at that moment, I realized that I was like, I can't feel anything. What do I do? So I was like, I'm just going to push. So she was just like, push, push, push. And I'm like, I don't know. I can't feel, like, I couldn't feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I don't even know if I'm, like, pushing. So I just started, like, trying to contract my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, yeah, you're doing good. You're a good pusher. Like, I don't know what that means, but all right.
Yeah.
And then he came out. He said nine pushes. It was, like, within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had done the okra. I had done the raspberry tea. What else did I do?
I don't know. You were making the dates.
Oh, the dates. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All the home remedy
It
stuff.
might have helped, but I still tore. I did tear, and I had to get stitches. So I'm really, really thankful that I did get the epidural, because I did not want to feel all of that.
Mm.
Another thing, they did mention that there was a little bit of meconium, but not a lot. Like, he was still okay. So when they told me that, I was like, okay, thank you, Lord, for taking care of us. And I was happy that I wasn't like 100%, no, I'm not going to do the epidural, no, I'm not going to do the Pitocin.
Not to be stubborn and then put yourself in a bad position.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, the natural childbirth is the best, and I'm 100% sure it is. But if for some reason you end up in a situation where you need to get an epidural or Pitocin, that's what the doctors are there for, and it doesn't make you less than, and it's okay. And so did it go as planned? No. But was it a good experience overall? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so to that point, like, not going as planned, I thought I was just going to stay up top, was the, you see in movies, and they just throw their feet up on some stirrups, and they're just, like, pushing. No, this lady's like, no, this is an involved, you're involved, I'm involved, and she's involved. Grab her hand, grab a leg, you're going to push it up towards her, and she's going to push. And I was like, I don't want to be down there. And then she's like, the nurse was just, didn't even ask, like, do you want to help or nothing? She was like, grab that leg, lift it up, and she's going to push. I was like, all right, come on, let's do it. Like, all that, like, I don't want to do this or that, went out the window, and I said, hey, like, things got to get done, it's getting done. Mm-hmm. So I have your leg up here, I'm holding your hand, I'm watching the contractions, I'm watching you push. I don't know I forget how many it was, but...
Well, and then she was like, do you want to see your baby?
Yeah, and I was like, nope. And then I ended up
she was like, look, his head's coming out. And she was like, do you want to see your baby? And Juan's like, nope. And she was like, she looked at him like, what?
Yeah, I was just focused up. But I ended up watching him come out completely. I watched everything. I could have caught him. I basically could have said, hey, we don't even need the doctor. Tell the doctor to go back. I'll deliver the baby. Because that's how involved I felt.
Yeah. I still haven't asked you, like, how did it look like in the videos we had seen in class?
Yeah, yes and no. Because from the videos in class, like, I'm up here, right? So I'm at the side. So the videos from class, it's like if they put the camera, like, all up in there, like, in front of the like the doctors wearing a GoPro or something. But it's more, when I described it like last time when we were talking about it, was more all the thoughts and everything kind of go out the window, and it was just get the job done type of thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, he's coming, you're pushing. I seen where like his head came through, and then his head like that where he was turned sideways, and where she grabbed, and then did another push, and then the shoulders come through and everything. It was a little bit different from the videos. I think it's also because it was you and because it was him. Like, I didn't care, and on the videos, I'm like, I ain't trying to watch all that. But yeah, it was like that. I seen where she got the cord, and then I cut it, and then I seen her. What she originally looked like she was gonna pull the placenta, and since we try to learn some things, I told her, I was like, is the placenta still connected, instead of saying, hey, don't pull it, because I seen her wrapping the cord up on the scissors like to pull, and I was just like, hey, is it loose already? Was it still connected? And then she was like, oh, like she kind of held back a little bit and gave it some time. But I seen the placenta come out. I seen that. I seen the stitches. I seen where they cleaned up all your blood. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. It wasn't like the videos, but it was a lot more than what the video showed too.
Oh, really?
Because they don't show the stitches. They don't show where they're putting gauze inside and all that.
Oh.
I mean, any dad who
Gone through it?
yeah, who's gone through it knows what I'm talking about.
Mm. Somebody asked you what the placenta looks like.
It looked kind of like an organ from a movie. Like, I can see it vividly right now, but I can't really explain it. It was just
like a mass of
probably a little bit bigger than my hand, kind of shaped like a little
pancake.
Not even a pancake. Cause she had her hand on it, so it kind of set over her hand like it was like loose.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine like I guess if you ever seen like an animal be skinned, and then you see like the organs, like when they pull an organ out like that, that it's like deflated already because it was like had blood in it. It already came out, and then it looked like a waste, like you would get rid of it.
Okay.
I don't know, that's the best way I can explain it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but somebody asked me if I kept or if I encapsulated the placenta,
No.
and no, I didn't. Just because I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. Some people were saying that it helped them. Some people were saying like it made them feel really bad, gave them postpartum depression. Other people are like, oh, it helped me from getting postpartum. So it was like a lot of mixed reviews.
Everybody's different too.
Yeah, and I had seen, well, what does the Bible say? And I had seen this TikTok, and it talked about Deuteronomy, where God places a curse on people, on someone. I didn't read the whole thing. I just read that little part, but it's like a very long, like the whole chapter is like a whole curse, and where he's cursing those people. And part of the curse is saying like that the women will eat their baby and the afterbirth is a placenta. So I'm like, if that's part of a curse, I don't want to eat it. Like, I don't know, but to each their own. I was just like, no, I won't do it. We were gonna keep the cord, the tissue, but then we decided that we were gonna wait until it was completely white, and I was like, is it really beneficial to just keep the cord if it's
the blood?
The blood's already, and I didn't want to bank it if I didn't have to, because I was like, it's his blood, he should be getting it right now, and so that's a decision we made. And I told Juan, I was like, make sure they don't cut it until it's completely white.
Yeah, white, and it stops pulsating.
Yeah.
And they did. They were real, like, since everything was
They even
going,
showed it to me, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. They were...
But it was completely white. Do you think, like, he had already started getting blood from it whenever my water broke and he was in there for so long?
No, because when I seen it, it still had color when it first came out.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't white right away. It's not... I mean, the color change wasn't like so drastically, but I watched it.
Pretty fast.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you could see where it was pumping. Like there was still blood flowing through there.
Because some videos I'd say like sometimes it takes an hour or sometimes it takes 30 minutes.
No, and I think she did a good job. The doctor did a good job of gauging when she felt like it was good. I was comfortable with how long she waited too. I wasn't like, no, you did it too soon, or it seemed right.
Yeah. So let's talk about how you felt when he came out. So I heard him crying, and then they put him. She
The
placed
baby.
him on my. I heard him crying. No, just kidding. Yeah, I heard the baby crying, and then she placed him on my chest, and it just felt so surreal because we've been praying for him. We asked God for him, and then I carried him for 9 months, labored for over 24 hours. Like the wait, it was a long wait, but the wait was 100% worth it, and I just remember like my eyes filled up with tears, and I was telling the nurse, "Thank you." um. Oh, and I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. You tell your side.
I guess when you seen him, you felt like it was done, like he was here, like we made it through.
Not so much. Just like I was overwhelmed with emotion. And
Yeah.
like he looked up at me because his eyes were wide open.
Yeah, he was alert and awake.
And he looked up at me, and I was like, I was like, this is my baby, and I was like, I couldn't believe that he was my baby, or that he is my baby.
He's our baby.
Our
first
baby. Yeah, I just felt like so much gratitude and just seeing him, and then so whenever he does it less now, but whenever he would ask for food, he would do a little, like in Spanish we call it piquito. What do you call it in English?
He would pucker his lips.
Yeah, he would pucker his lips. So he looks at me, he's puckering his lips, and I didn't know what that meant. I was just like, oh, he's so cute. And then the nurse was like, oh, he's asking for food. And she was like, I said, okay, if I latch him. She was like, are you going to breastfeed? And I was like, yeah. So she's like, here, let me help you. So he did. He latched right away, and then he was on there for like 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the nurse was like, oh, my God, like, y'all are doing so good. And I'm just staring at him, and I can't stop staring at him. And even after we came home, like weeks, even to now, I don't cry now, but for like a few weeks, like I would just look at him and I would just start crying, like of gratitude, like I can't believe this is my baby.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I have a baby. Oh, I love you so much. Yes, I do. Oh, I got lipstick on him.
Oh.
Okay, so how did you?
Yeah, when he came out, and I didn't feel like I was still in, I call it work mode. I don't know what else to call it. But, like, when you went into labor, I went into work mode. Like,
Yeah.
this is the task. These are the things that need to get done. And when he was delivered and after cutting the cord, it still wasn't like the job's over. It didn't feel like that to me. Like, I heard you get emotional. I heard you crying. And I seen him. He started crying because I do, like, the whole get all the mucus and all that from all the liquid out. He started crying. All that, but I was like, she still is bleeding. She still needs to be good. He's doing okay. He's with her. She needs to, like, I didn't feel like we're out of the water yet.
Okay.
I was like, because I seen all the blood. They used like 15 clots things, gauzes. They used 15 of those to stop your
You
bleeding.
counted them?
They counted them.
Oh, okay.
They counted them afterwards because I guess they keep track or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of blood, and she was doing the stitches. She started doing the stitches before even asking you if you could feel it, and then that's when the other nurse was like, "Do you feel it?" And she was like, "No." She was like, "The epidural wore off yet?" And the doctor was like, "No, because I just put a needle through her, and she didn't even."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, like I watched the stitches and stuff, and then that was good. And then once they finally finished all that, then I felt like, okay, like everything seems good. I think we're all good. Doctor said everything was good, and he was latched on. And then when the nurse left us, that's when it was kind of like, I felt more, like I felt like happy and gratitude, but it was also like, I need to watch over two people now.
Mm.
Like, I guess that's kind of like the instinct or whatever. It kind of just goes into like, I need to watch both of y'all now. So, I don't know. I think that's the way it stayed.
Mm-hmm. Until when would you say? I just made a reel yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday of like all the videos and pictures that we have. Not all of them, but like most of them. And I couldn't fall asleep after a while. Like I just got to relive it, and I was just so happy again. Like I remember that feeling, like so happy, so grateful, and just in awe of how amazing God is. And there's a lot of videos of you Like there's one where you're just like staring at him in the little bassinet, changing his diaper. You're carrying him.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know when it's like that little like kind of relax goes down, but that's how I felt. I know some people, it's different for everybody, but I've seen videos where they say like a dad's bond doesn't grow with the baby when he's born the same way a mom's is. It's later on as he grows up, and that's when that bond really kicks up more. And I feel like me and him have a bond. I'm not talking that down, but
But I do feel like you guys have bonded more.
yeah, as he's
Over the
gotten
last
bigger,
few
as he
weeks,
like
yeah.
interacts, because I mean, all he wants is you, and that's what he's supposed to want. Like,
Yeah.
you're his you're a safe place, and you're his food.
Mm.
So I mean, what more does he want? Like, he finds comfort in you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I guess the bond part is more now as he's getting a little bit bigger, and he sits there and like lays down and tries to talk to me, and then he holds my hand like anytime like he's pushing to fart or to poop, he wants to hold my hand.
So cute.
And yeah,
And we think he already said his first words.
I s-
Obviously not like he
He di-
knows what he's saying,
yeah.
but
he said good.
and I think one time like I went to use the restroom, I came out, he was crying, and it really sounded like he was saying "mama."
Mhm.
Like he kept saying "mama."
Yeah,
I was
he's.
like, "Oh my baby."
It's like he'll concentrate. Like he'll like start looking at you, and he'll like start making sounds, trying to make words. So
And then he says "good." Oh, he's like, "Stop talking about me."
yeah.
Why are you telling people I fart?
Yeah, I think that's more of what I felt was like, just like, make sure y'all are good. Like,
Mhm.
that's what I've had to do for the last 5 years. Make sure you're good. Now it became
Mhm.
make sure both of y'all are good.
Yeah.
Not that I've had to do, but I've gotten to do.
Yeah, and you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Next question is, what was one thing you thought you were prepared for, but you were not?
Me first or you first?
Yeah, you first. I haven't thought about this yet.
So I would get asked at work because, like everybody knew baby was coming, and people would be like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Like, I already built the nursery. We've gotten so much stuff." I felt very like involved, so I felt ready. Everything from the registry and all that, like, just taking care of all the stuff that needed to be taken care of, and make sure the house was ready to welcome him, and everything was taken care of, so we could just take care of him. But I didn't. You think you're ready, and you're like, "Oh, like I'll be fine. Less sleep is okay. Like it's a season."
Mhm.
But it's different being tired versus being tired and like, you breathing? You awake? Why are you making noise? What's going on?
Yeah.
Did I fall asleep? Are you still alive? Like, it's different.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I've dealt with being tired. I've dealt with being busy or
Mhm.
that. But, and then also too, I was like, yeah, like we got everything ready, and it just, you kind of feel like, was I ready? Like that was for me. Like, was I ready? Like, did I have everything ready? Did I take care of everything? But everything's been good. Not like, was I ready to have a kid? Yeah, 100%. But like, did I do everything that I could have to make sure everything was taken care of ahead of time?
Oh, you did. Yeah.
But yeah, that's been the difference. I was like, oh yeah, like I got this.
Mhm.
But I said it's different being like tired and being like, hey, what are you doing? Are you awake? Are you alive? Are you breathing? Are you hungry? Did you use the restroom?
Yeah, because it's like they depend on you for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, what was the one thing you thought you were prepared for, but you were not? I guess I didn't. I don't know that I ever thought I was fully prepared. I feel like I did what I could.
Mm.
But at the same time, I'm like, it's my first time. I don't really know what to expect, and I'm just going to try to go with the flow. So I guess I didn't expect to not dilate.
Mm.
So to me, that threw me off. And now I know for the next one, when I pray, I'm going to pray that I dilate how
Yeah.
I'm supposed to. As far as the baby goes, I've just been learning as I go. Everything is new to me, so I didn't really have any expectations.
Well, you've been doing great.
Oh, thank you. And I also have an obsessive personality, so when I'm focused on one thing, I just focus on that one thing. Oh, my baby. We're going to take a break. All right, we are back. He needed to eat and diaper change. So we'll try to.
Oh yeah, he said, "Hey, don't tell them."
We'll try to do the rest of it pretty quick. All right, so like I said, we're learning as we go, and it has been an amazing journey, very fulfilling. And I always tell him that he fills my heart with joy. All right, so what was your first thought when you first laid eyes on Miguel after he was born? Well, I guess we covered that.
Yeah.
Right?
He said that I'm the cutest. You hear him?
Yeah. Brianda, did you crave anything food-wise after giving birth? Honestly, no. During the whole pregnancy. Oh, bless you.
Bless you, buddy.
I had food aversions, not so much cravings. And after he was born, I just wanted to eat like as healthy as possible, like warm foods, caldos, lentils.
I hope y'all can hear him. I'm about to pass the mic to him.
Aw. He's all good. He's saying good.
We say God is
Good.
good. Yeah.
Oh, I really hope they can hear him. Has Miguel peed on you yet? Hashtag boy mom.
Have you? Huh? Have you? Yeah.
So for me, not on me, but there's been times where he doesn't have a diaper on and he'll pee sideways, like to the side. Happened whenever we bathe him. One time he had a blowout, and one time I opened the diaper to change him and didn't realize he was peeing. What about you?
I used to come home from work. I would shower, put on a fresh shirt, and I would hold him right here. And he has like it's not a crawl, but he like tries to inch himself up. I call him, I say he's like trying to climb up me. And almost every single day, he would just pee on me. Like, he would just move just right to where on the side, it'd come out the side of his diaper, and then I would just feel a wet spot across my whole stomach. So I'd have to change shirts and change him. And then, hey, I'm sorry, I'm snitching. Just the other day, I was changing his diaper, and then I think you were about to eat, so I didn't have his diaper on him all the way yet, and I started praying over the food, and as I'm finishing the prayer, he just started peeing. He peed on the wall. He peed all over his onesie and the changing table.
Oh. Next question. So far, what has been your peak and valley of this whole experience?
My peak is, if y'all can hear the sounds he's doing, how cute he is, how much I get to see your love for him, how much you love him. I told you before, I was like, I'm excited for you to see it and experience it the way I look at you, and I love you and just want to take care of you and protect you and make sure you're good. I love seeing that aspect of you. Not that you don't do it towards me, but it's a different when you feel like you're responsible for that person. And that's the way I feel towards you. Maybe that's what's a little bit different when he was born too. But to see y'all's bond. And then another one, when he holds my finger and sits there, like, looks me in the eyes and tries to talk to me. Aww. Super cute.
Yeah. What about Valley?
I don't know. There's a Valley. Just, I guess when I go back to work, that's gonna feel like it's a blessing that I have the job.
Right.
And you know, we're good and everything. I guess sometimes I feel like, I guess that would be it. I don't ever feel any type of way about it, but that's the Valley, is that since you are exclusively breastfeeding, I can't help as much as I would want to, because as a man, there's a problem, you want to fix it.
Right.
You're tired, he's hungry, let me fix the problem, but I can't, because you're breastfeeding.
Yeah.
So I can't do anything. So he said, you're awesome. You're awesome, Mom.
Aww.
But yeah, that'd be the Valley. But everything's so far has been amazing. We're super blessed, super grateful, just full of joy and gratitude, really.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, that peak, I mean, yeah, if you guys can hear him, I don't know, I just love, what even is a peak? I don't know, I just love him so much. Like, my heart is just full of joy. I look at him, like I said, when we brought him home there for weeks, I would just look at him and start crying, just out of gratitude and happiness. He brings so much joy.
He's smiling.
Yeah, and it's just like a love that, like, when people tell you, like, kids, like, they try to explain the feeling and they're like, like you really can't explain it until you actually go through it. The valley, I guess, is like sometimes when he's crying and I don't know why or what's going on with him. I end up googling. Sometimes it's like he's going through a growth spurt, or it was a gas or whatever. But it just breaks my heart to hear him crying. I'm like, how do I fix this? Like Juan was saying, like you want to fix it. Second night we were home. That happened. Luckily, my mom was here to help us. But I would say that. Number one tip to any new parent.
I'll do from a guy's perspective. Well, I know one of the questions coming up too, so I'm going to touch on both questions. As a guy, like I said a minute ago, you're a problem solver most of the time. That's the personality of a guy. There's a problem, you're going to try to fix it.
Wait, why is that up? I want to see him too.
Because you get the bright lights on.
Oh, okay, never mind.
He when you get to the hospital and you'll see it, because during pregnancy, it's like whatever you needed, I was on top of it, right? I was a problem solver. You needed this, whatever, as much as I could do. Besides, like morning sickness and all that, some things out of your hands. When he's born and when you're at the hospital and everything, it's a lot of things are out of your hands. You're out of the hands in the sense is you can only help so much. So be in that season of it's not about me. The whole relationship, I put you before me, but it's about the both of you, the twos of you before it is about me. So just understand, like, hey, it's gonna be some days is just you literally just cooking and cleaning, and she's spending the time with the baby, and that's what the season is. It's a season, like, oh, he's smiling about it. Of just being the helper is what you're gonna be. You're gonna lead in the sense that, like, beforehand you get your household in order and make sure everything's ready for you to do that. If you're able to be home or find a way that things are taken care of, be 100% present and help when it's there. The mom can take care of the baby 99% of it on her own. The other stuff that needs to get taken care of the house is your responsibility now. If you're not a person who cooks, learn to cook. Like if you're a guy who doesn't know how to cook, learn to cook or whatever it is. Out. Yeah, or order the food and make sure she's getting good food.
Yeah, get a family member or a friend or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many food subscriptions, Factor, Fresh, all those.
Yeah.
That's my biggest tip is just be the helper that she needs, because she's the one who went through it. She didn't just, the baby's not just here and that's the whole focus. It's on her too. She just had, like, she was just opened up basically. A baby came out of her. The uterus is still coming back. Like, you're still recovering.
Right.
And just fully be there. And your hormones are different. So if you got to understand, like, hey, maybe you didn't do anything wrong and it's just the hormones changing or whatever it is. Take it as much as take everything with a grain of salt. Don't take it so literal, and just understand, like, hey, she's acting different. It's part of it right now. Like, just be like, hey, like, let's communicate a little bit better. Don't be like, oh, well, I'm doing everything, because then it's just gonna be bad for both people.
Yeah.
So that'd be my tips. Just be the helper and give grace.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, so I'm gonna touch on the same thing, I guess. How it says, number one tip to any new parent, mine would be get help. So it does take a village. So we plan ahead of time for my mom to come spend 2 weeks with me, and then Juan's mom would come after. And it was such a big help because they would do everything for me. They would cook for me. They would clean, do laundry. And I was just focused on the baby, breastfeeding him.
I was still at work.
Yeah. So Juan took a week off from work, and then he went back to work for a month. What?
It wasn't a month, was it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, what? Dang, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. And then now he's officially on paternity leave. But during those 5 weeks, they were here helping me. And it really does make a huge difference because I didn't have to worry about what I was going to eat. And not only were they cooking for me, but they were cooking healthy meals. So it was like caldos or stews, lentils, peas, a lot of herbal teas. Yeah, and then if I needed to go to the restroom, they would hold them, or if I needed to eat, they would hold them, things like that. So I 100% recommend planning that ahead of time, because I feel like that made a huge difference, and I can see how some women may go into postpartum depression if they're doing this by themselves. It's not easy, especially if it's your first time. You're, trying to figure things out. What else? Yeah, and then just make sure that you communicate to them like, hey, if they can help, but then also make it clear that they're there to help you. They're there to take care of you, not the baby. You're going to be the one taking care of the baby because you're the mom. And then that's what's going to be your focus, and then they will be taking care of you. And I promise you, it makes a world of a difference. And I understand not everybody has that. I don't know if it's a luxury, because back in the day that was like the norm, and I feel like it's something that we should bring back. It's something that is very needed. But if you have the opportunity, do that. All right. Was there anyone there with y'all when you were in labor? So I had told Juan I don't want anyone during the delivery. I was like, just you and I, because it's going to be a very vulnerable moment, and it's my first time doing this. I don't know what to expect, and I'm so happy that it was just the two of us, because it was a very vulnerable moment. I struggle with that word.
Vulnerable.
Yes. But our moms wanted to be there, so they were trying to be sneaky. And how did they end up? They said they just wanted to stop by, or they were going to bring something, right?
Your mom, I think it was some kind of tea that was going to help you with the contractions. And since it had already been so long, you were kind of open to it.
Yeah.
Because the hospital that we were at, they're really good on security.
And I have nothing but good things to say about the hospital.
Yeah, it was a good
really
experience.
Good. Yeah.
But yeah, that's how we ended up telling them that they could go.
Yeah, because she was like, I'll take you the tea, and it's supposed to help you, and this and that. And at that point, I was like, bring me whatever.
Yeah.
And so both of our moms showed up.
Yeah, like earlier in the day, so I had told them as soon as we got to, I waited till we got to the hospital at like 1 or 2, and then I waited till 4, because I knew if they read it like at 2, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna try to go right now, and we were like, no, we wanted to be there ourselves. That'd be I guess that's another tip thing. Talk about it ahead of time and set the boundaries with the family and let them know, like, hey, we love y'all. We want y'all to meet the baby, but we want to be there because she is going to be, like, vulnerable. And, you're half naked half the time.
And everybody's different. Like, some women want their mom there with them.
Yeah.
So, but for me, it was like...
Yeah, that's what I say. Just discuss it.
Yeah.
Set whatever boundaries need to be set, and just discuss it. So make sure both people are okay and understanding with it. But your mom had called because she was driving through Houston, and she was like...
She's working out of town.
Yeah. So I think as soon as she found out, she was like, I'm headed down.
Yeah.
And, oh, yeah. And...
yeah, your grandma?
She called, and... she was still on the way through Houston, and she's like, the only reason I show up to the hospital is because I don't know where it's at. I remember her saying that, and I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we just laughed at it. And then my mom told me, she was like, I'll go, I'll help with whatever, so you can just, like, attend to her. She's like, I'll clean the room if you need me to. Like, she just wanted to be there.
Which we really appreciate, and we love them.
Yeah.
And we know they're very excited.
Yeah,
it's just
for
me, I was like...
It's something we wanted to do.
I just don't know how it's gonna be, and I didn't want anything to mess with my head, like emotionally. And I know my mom, obviously, she loves me, cares about me. I didn't want her to get all worried, and then I'm all worried.
Yeah.
So
we worked really hard to keep. I think the nurses felt it when they walked in there, because we were just in prayer the whole time. I was just praying. You were praying. We were reading the supernatural book. We had gospel music playing the whole time. Like, when you walked in there, it was, you could feel there was a peace over it. So we worked really hard beforehand to know that that's what the environment we wanted, and we worked really hard to keep it in there. Even with nurses coming in and stuff, I truly feel like they felt that that's the environment they were walking into.
Yeah, so they showed up, and then I think my mom forgot the tea. Like, she just wanted to be there.
Oh, so I was finishing up the book. It was like maybe 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I was finishing up the book, and I had my phone to the side. I was like, it was just playing music. I didn't need it. Or you played music, so I didn't even need my phone. They were sitting at the secure, like, to get into the hospital to check in for like 30 minutes because I was reading and I was just spending the time with you. And I finally checked my phone, and I had missed calls and texts and phone calls from both of them. So I called them, and I was like, it's this room number. Because they wouldn't do it just with the name. Like, you had to know, like, everything. Yeah. They wouldn't give it out. So then they forgot the tea, and your mom tried to send me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, no, he's not leaving me.
Yeah.
I was like, you go get it. You say you're bringing it.
Yeah, her mom was like, oh, if you want to go get it. I was like, no. And you were like, no, you go get it. Like, that's why you came.
I wasn't rude like that. It was just like, no, he's not leaving me.
Yeah.
Wait, no, very grateful for them. But they were there until like midnight, and then your mom had to work.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason they left. Otherwise, they would have stayed.
Yeah, your mom was even like, she asked me if I was gonna go home. I was like, what? Like, no, this is why we were like, we're just gonna be me and her.
Yeah.
Because I think me and you, like, we have a good relationship where we're kind of like, we think the same on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So some things don't really need to be said. We just say them to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Versus having to explain everything to, like, how we would with our moms, because they don't think the same as us.
Right. Yeah, and I just, you're my husband and obviously the father of my child, so don't leave my side, please. That's how I felt. All right. Was there anyone there with you when you were in labor? So we just answered that.
Yeah.
What has been the most... were you going to say something?
No.
All right. What has been the most surprising thing besides the baby to come out of your experience? Something you didn't expect.
What was the most surprising thing? Like, what didn't I expect?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I think I told myself is, like, I understand it, but I've always been like, I don't do baby talk. Like, I don't do baby talk. I told you beforehand, I was like, don't be surprised if I talk to him just like this. Like, it's not because of machismo or anything. I just, like, it just sounds weird to me. And people are like, I'm like, it's just like, ugh. But to each their own. And there's, like, I'm sitting there talking to him, and it's not baby talk, but it's like my baby talk to him.
Yeah.
And
you just can't help it. He's so cute and little.
Well, it's what he responds to when I'm talking to him like this. He's just like, what? And I'm like, what's up, dude? And I get like all like excited with him. Then he gets excited. But I think that's like the only thing. I don't know. I think we touched on it earlier about just the tired, just watching over him at all times. Mm-hmm. What I did expect, and a lot of people when they're like, are you ready? Or they're like, oh, you're going to be so busy. I think Lily had asked me, actually. She's like, it gets really busy. I was like, Lily, I think my life's going to slow down when he's here.
Mm-hmm. And it has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's true. Like,
it's funny because your life has slowed down and you can sleep more now.
Yeah. That tells you how life was beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's our focus now.
Mm-hmm. That's right, big guy.
Something I didn't expect. I don't know. Is there something that I've said or mentioned? I can't think of anything right now. I feel like it's all new to me, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know if we came in like with these expectations to know everything. It was more of we came in like we learned what we could learn.
Yeah.
And then the rest was up to God.
I guess like when you hear things and like people were like, oh, the baby was crying for this long, and thankfully we haven't had that. Like, he's a really good baby.
Yeah.
So I think that surprised me, which I'm very thankful for. He cries when he's sleepy, when he's hungry, and when he needs a diaper change, or he has gas that he needs to pass.
Yeah, so uncomfortable, sleepy, and hungry.
There you go. Those are his 3 reasons that he cries, and usually we're able, thankfully, to fix him real quick. It's not like he's crying all night or anything like that. Oh, cluster feeding, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
That was new or unexpected. Yeah, cluster feeding. I've never obviously breastfed. So, I mean, like I said, everything, I think it's just everything so new. So there's so much that I can say, oh, I didn't know about this is going to happen. Do you regret not having a home birth? Honestly, no. I did want to have a home birth. The person who asked knew this. And we even talked about it. We went and talked to the midwives. But then I had heard people have really good experiences, and it sounded like so good, and like they were like it was such a good experience. If I was to have another one, I would do it like this again. However, my cousin, she had 2 home births, and both times she was like no. Not a good experience for her. And I don't remember if it was the first one or the second one. I think the first one they had to rush her to the
Second one.
hospital. Second one?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think second one is whenever she had him on the bed.
Oh, I thought that was the first one. I don't know, either way.
And it doesn't matter. Okay, so I had to be rushed to the hospital. So I was like, okay, all of these people that are telling me all these great stories, they're not related to me by blood, which I mean may not even matter or make a difference, but that was just my logic. I was like, my cousin's related to me by blood, so I'm gonna go with her story. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have to be rushed to the hospital. So if that's the case, I might as well just be at the hospital instead of paying twice. So I was like, I'll just show up, after I've been laboring for a while, and just the baby will slide right out of me. It'll be fine. Obviously, it didn't go that way, and I'm very thankful that I decided to go that route. Because do you think I would have had been rushed to the hospital because the water broke and I wasn't dilating?
I don't know if you'd have been rushed to the hospital or not. But we wanted you to have a good experience, as much pain free as we could.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the biggest thing was making sure you were okay.
Right. Yeah.
And I had a lot of things didn't sit right with me. They're like, oh, the baby's here, and then you're on your own. Is kind of not saying that's exactly what it was.
Mm.
But that's kind of what it felt for like a home birth.
Mm.
And that's awesome and amazing if everything goes right. But if not, then we're rushing. We didn't get to choose where you're going.
Oh, you
like
also
that.
didn't like the hospital they would rush people to.
Yeah, I didn't like that because it's a trauma hospital. And I'm like, well, okay, so you're going to be getting rushed into the ER, and that's where they take all the people who have been shot and stabbed.
Oh.
So we're going to be right side by side with somebody who's over there bleeding out.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good experience.
Yeah.
And where's the baby at? Like, it's a newborn is going to be riding in whose arms to the hospital?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, no.
Well, no, usually when you get rushed, it's because he's not coming out.
Well,
and
I mean,
needs
but
to be.
yeah, but how are they going to monitor the blood that
Yeah.
comes out of you and all that? That was one of my big concerns too.
Yeah. No, in the hospital that we use is that the Women's Hospital of Texas? 100% recommend. They were awesome. They gave us like this huge room. The nurse was like, "You're my only patient. I'm focused on you 100%. Whatever you want, I'm here to help. We're not gonna push anything on you." As soon as the baby was born, like, to listen to everything I wanted. It gave me an hour on my chest. Gave him an hour with him. No vaccines, nothing. Nothing was pushed on me. I had to sign a waiver, obviously, saying, like, if anything happens, I'm responsible. But they were like, it's your decision. If you don't want to, that's okay. I had nothing but good things to say about them.
Yeah, so we got to do tours too. So
we took all our baby classes with them as well.
yeah, so that helped out. Like, I wasn't lost when we were there. Like, hey, can you go get me something from the cafeteria? I wasn't like, where's the cafeteria? How to get back? It's like, okay, the class was over here that we did. We're here. I know exactly where to go. Valet parking too.
We've been there so many times. We know that place pretty good.
Yeah, so like when the question was like, how fast are you driving to the hospital? I knew going normal speed, I could make it right under 20 minutes. That's not rushing.
Yeah.
And that's with a little bit of traffic. So I was like, I don't need to rush because it's close enough to the house. It's 20 minutes. A lot of people, they have to drive like an hour or whatever. So we were fortunate on that. I just felt really good about everything when we started doing the stuff. The room was nice.
Yeah,
it was nice.
Yeah. Next one is, did you have a good experience having a hospital birth? And we covered that. One, any tips or advice for new dads on how to support their partner during labor and delivery?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this the other day. I guess I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier too. But the way I explained it was, you go in there and you have to understand mom's up to bat. Mom's the one at home plate up to bat, it's on her, and you're not a coach because you don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
The nurses are the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
You're the manager is what you are.
Mm-hmm.
The nurses and mom's going to tell you, hey, I need this or I need that, and that's what you're doing. It's not about you're not the one up to bat. You're not pitching. You're not playing outfield. You're not doing anything. You're the manager, and you're just tending to everything that they need. And some people might be like, oh, that's what the nurse is for. We pay the nurse. It's still not the same as your spouse taking care of you, being right next to you, making sure you're good. And that, I'm not saying like you go drive everywhere, go get food, but it's like if you would have told me like, hey, I want the lemon pasta, I would have had it Uber Eats delivered right to the bottom, and I would have waited till the nurse was up, and I would have went down and got it, and you would have had what you wanted. Like it's simple as that. Just you're just there. You're the support person. That's what they call them too. Like, who's your support person? That's what you're there to do, to support mom, make sure everything's good with her. Because there's times when I just had to call the nurse. And it wasn't me as much as I could have fixed the machine and pressed 3 buttons they pressed because I watched them press them over and over. It's just call the nurse. Like, you're the manager. You're just there supporting.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, I would say 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah. Everything was good. And
would do again.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't really touch on it is seeing how tired you were. Like when you said you were tired.
There was a point. I'll come back to this. Go ahead.
Like I was sitting there and I'm looking over at you, and you just look like beat. Like you were just tired. You'd been doing. Oh, hey, mom's all right. Hey, mom's all right. She's good now. Yeah, you okay? Well,
feed me.
We'll hurry up.
Yeah, we're almost done.
She was just really tired, and I was just like, man, like, I hate seeing anything wrong, right?
Bless you.
And then I can't fix it, so you feel like a little like helpless, in a sense, and you have to accept that feeling and just be like, hey, like I'm here for whatever you need, like whatever you want to do, whatever decision you want, like you got this, and you got my full support. But I hated seeing how tired you were. Like I looked over and you just looked like you were done, like just tired.
Yeah, I was tired. And at some point between the throwing up after the epidural, I think, was I pushing or not yet? No, it was during the throwing up or in the middle of it. And you were like, I know we said we wanted more. You're like, but maybe just one. He was like, I don't want to see you like this ever again. And at that point, like, I just felt so tired and defeated that I was like, oh, maybe. I was like, we'll see, but a little bit I was like, maybe he's right. But then after they placed a baby on my chest, like, I forgot all the negative feelings. I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And I've heard people say that, and I'm like, what? But when you go through it, you're like, oh yeah, like, whatever pain or whatever tiredness, whatever negative feeling you felt, once you have them in your arms, it's like, it's all worth it. I would do it again 100 times. Yeah,
I think a lot of the positive was because, like, we created that space, like the peace space, like I said. Because if it was just you being tired, and then the nurse wasn't so awesome, like all the little things added up to make it a really good experience. But yeah, as soon as he was born, you're like, I could do this again.
Yeah. All right. Do you have anything else you would like to add? Because he's hungry again. So.
Yeah. You say, feed me.
Yeah.
No, just if you are pregnant and your spouse is pregnant, for the guys, like if any guys listen, how we said, like, getting stuff ready and knowing like it takes a village, like you said.
Yeah.
Be mature and responsible, getting things ready to where you can be present as much as you can, because it is a lot on the mom. Whether have help, hired help, family members, or if you get PTO or whatever it is, save up, however you need to do to where you're able to take care and be home.
Yeah.
Because it's an awesome experience bonding with the little guy or the little girl, if you have a little girl, and just being there for mom.
Yeah, and I guess one more thing that I would recommend for first time parents, we have his nursery and we have like the little kickaroo, the peanut to change him in, and then we also have a changing table in our room. So we had like two little setups, one in our room and then one in the nursery, and that was super helpful because whenever our moms, if we wanted to sleep in the room and our moms were going to take him, they had where to change him. They had diapers, they had clothes, and then whenever you're in the room, we have all this stuff right there also. Or Juan, he was working nights, so it was just super convenient. So 100% recommend having two places where, I guess like two stations for him, where you can change him in yeah, diaper and clothes. But I think that's it for now because we have to get back to the baby, which by the way we named Miguel, and we named him after the Archangel Michael, because he's like a warrior and the leader of God's army, and it's just like I don't want to say badass, but I don't know how.
He's the
to
one who
describe
defeats
him.
Satan in Revelations. If you read Revelations, he's the one who whoops Satan's butt.
Yeah, but yeah.
That was your reasoning,
Mm-hmm.
and my reasoning before that was I like the name Miguel since I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young, I've never liked my name, and I was gonna change my name to Miguel as soon as I turned 17. That's what I always told myself when I was young, and I never did it because I was like, I'm not paying the government money. So now we got our little Miguel,
Oh, so sweet. Yeah, everything works out.
and it's pretty cool. Your reasoning too.
Yeah.
I align with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for listening or watching, whatever it is, whatever platform you're using. Thank you so much for everyone who prayed for us. We had a whole prayer, what do you call it? Like a whole army of people praying for us.
prayer warriors.
Prayer warriors. So yeah, we did from church to relatives to people we didn't even know, people online. So thank y'all so much. Y'all's prayers really did make a difference, and we love y'all. We're praying for y'all, and I hope that I don't know how to close this out.
There might be a round 2 in the future.
Yes, God willing. But for now, we're focused on our little one and just wanting to spend all the time with him and just soak it all in, because now we have one more week left until he's 2 months, and apparently after 2 months he's not considered a newborn anymore. And I almost wanted to cry earlier when I found that out. But yeah, thank y'all so much for listening. We'll see you on the next one.